Overnight, the U.S. government shutting down after a last-ditch Senate vote failed to keep it funded. Now more than 700,000 federal workers won't get paid. And our next guest says Congress should not either until they fix this. Republican Senator Rick Scott sits on the Budget Committee and joins us now. Senator, a lot of people aren't aware. When there's a government shutdown, lawmakers still get paid. What would be the difference, do you think, if they weren't going to get paid?
Maybe we would focus on getting our budgets done when we're supposed to. I mean, I've been up here 6.5 years. We don't pass budgets up here. I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, you know, we ought to pass a budget. We ought to work with the House to get our budgets done. They're supposed to be done by September 30. I'm a business guy. I always pass budgets. And by the way, if you didn't do your job in business, you didn't get paid. You don't show up and do your job, you don't get paid. Why are we getting paid? We shouldn't get paid if we don't do our job. We need to figure out how to work together to get our budgets done. It's as simple as that.
So you're going to offer legislation to not get paid during shutdowns?
Absolutely. I already have a bill. We've got a bill that we don't get paid during the shutdown. Ron Johnson's got a bill that will never have shutdowns. That should pass also. But on top of that, what are the Democrats doing? This is a clean resolution. All we're doing is keeping the funding. Actually, the funding is too high. It's still the Biden funding. But I don't want to shut down government, so I support it. But the Democrats, they want a shutdown for whatever reason. How is this good for the country? Nobody wins with a shutdown.
I hear you. And what about people at home that aren't as politically engaged as you and I are? You do it for a living, so do I. And say, why can't you guys get together? I fault both of you. Do you fault both sides?
Absolutely. We all need to start talking to each other. We need to. But here's the deal. Schumer is so partisan. This is all about how do you hurt Trump? How do you hurt Trump? How do you hurt Trump? He is so partisan. I'm actually surprised he let any Democrat support the bill that we're trying to stop the shutdown. Hopefully some other Democrats will come to their senses and vote today the right way.
And Senator Fetterman, Catherine Masto, as well as Angus King voted for it. And people say that Gary Peters could break if there's another vote, as well as Shaheen. So we'll see where that goes. Here is the minority leader. Yeah, here's the minority leader. Listen.
Their bill, they call it clean. We call it totally partisan. There was no input from Democrats. Not a single line in their bill had input from Democrats. They never consulted us. Thune didn't consult me. Johnson didn't consult Hakeem. And the bottom line is that we had a partisan bill.
And Senator Thune said, look, you want to talk about health care, you know, the pandemic money that was put in place and never taken back. You want to talk about able-bodied people still getting health care and Medicaid. We want to cut that back. He goes, I'll talk to you about it, but fund the government along the way. And he says your CR is partisan.
First off, how can it be partisan when it's the Biden budget? I mean, so it's what the Democrats passed before. We said we're just going to keep funding where it is. Look, I want to reduce spending. I want to balance the budget. So I don't like CRs. I'm going to support this because I don't want government to be shut down. There's a lot of us like that. We don't. Who likes the continuing resolution? We ought to be doing our job, passing a budget. If we don't, we shouldn't get paid. And we should never have shutdowns.
Lastly, Russ Vought, the OMB director, said, look, I'm going to be cutting jobs. I'm not just going to cut back. I'm going to cut them out. And they're going to do it. And he has the power to do it because the money has not been appropriated yet. You don't have to go through a rescission package. Are you for that?
Absolutely. We've got to balance the budget. Russ, I've talked to Russ this week. He doesn't want to shut down. The president doesn't want to shut down. All right? But if there's going to be a shutdown, let's use it to save money. That we've got to reduce spending if we're going to get inflation under control. We're going to reduce spending if we want private sector growth. That's what we have to do. I balance the budget every year as governor. It's not that hard. We know what we're going to get as revenues. Don't spend more than we take in.
Yeah, 2/3 is health care and Social Security, and that discretionary spending gets smaller and smaller every year, and a lot of it goes to defense. You know that. You're a money guy. Thanks so much, Senator Rick Scott. I love your proposal. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.